We're joined live in our booth here, in the home radio booth, by a guy you see on TV all the time.
Love that shirt,
That is
man.
Tom McCarthy.
Hugh, we're wearing this on TV today.
Yeah, that's a nice
That
shirt.
is a nice.
I will say that when we bought it or we purchased it from the store here, I thought, oh, man, this is like an old man shirt.
Well,
but in reality, it's not, even though I am an old man.
That's a really nice shirt.
Yeah,
like
it does. It looks good on TV.
Yes, it does.
It's like the City Connect version of a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, it's exactly. It's a Tommy Bahama.
Yeah, it's awesome. How you been?
I'm great. Yeah, everything's been good. I mean, I feel like I've been down here forever, which is awesome because the weather's been so good. But, yeah, I feel pretty good.
How you feeling about this team? So give us a couple thoughts on just what you've seen so far and how you're feeling about the 2026 Phils.
I'll tell you what I like. I have really liked Justin Crawford. It's spring training, obviously, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. But I think he's done everything he's supposed to do to get himself ready for the season. I think that's a really good thing. His defense has been very good. In fact, I know that was a question about whether he could play center field. I actually think he's roamed center field really well. And I think Painter's looked really good, too. So those are the two young guys that you're trying to lift up and give a piece of the puzzle to this year. And right now, again, it's spring training, but I think that they're showing that they belong.
You know what, T-Mac, you just made me think of something. The eye test.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Who is faster? Is it the young guy or is it Trey Turner?
So we had Crawford on yesterday.
Yeah, we had him.
We tried to press him.
He
took the high road. He wanted to say he's faster than Trey.
I think he's faster. I think Crawford's faster. Well, he's so long-legged. I mean, and Trey is too, but nobody slides better than Trey slides. Right. Like there's nobody that's as graceful as he is. But I think Crawford's faster. I do.
So as far as Andrew Painter is concerned, I know we were anticipating him last year. Didn't get a chance to see him last year. How do you think he's going to fit into this rotation this year?
I think the Phillies are going to need him. I mean, I think we saw it last year that guys don't last the whole season. Something happens. I mean, unfortunately. So he's going to be plucked. He's going to be put right into it. I think the thing that's really different this year than last year, Hugh, is that he is healthier. His arm angle is definitely where it used to be. It's not dropped down 3/4 as he comes back from the Tommy John surgery. He's only had one appearance here on the big field. He's looked really good. I mean, but I've watched a lot of his side sessions, and I will say that for a 22-year-old, he's extremely composed. Both of them are. Both he and Crawford are really composed. And, that I think that's half the battle. I mean, Hugh, you played here in Philadelphia. You know how it is. I mean, you got to be able to put the blinders on in some ways and be able to just go out and try to do your job and play the game.
Yeah, I will say this. Just talking to him when we talked to Crawford yesterday, he does seem really focused and composed, and it sounds like his biggest thing is he's just going to let the game come to him.
He has to. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but I think that's what he has to do. He can't – there's always the fear if he gets off to like an 0 for 21 or something like what Marsh did last year.
Yeah.
Can he mentally respond? I mean, I think he can, but the hope is that he doesn't do it. I think he puts the bat on the ball enough that – he'll leg out an infield hit or he'll spray one like he has down the left field line. And, he'll get an extra base hit here or there.
What do you think of Adolis Garcia? To me, that's a really interesting signing because
he's missing arm day, though.
Man.
He's missing arm day.
And a couple of years ago, I mean, he's one of the biggest reasons the Rangers won that World Series. He was awesome.
My feeling is that it's – and I know this sounds strange in this day and age to say this because it is $10 million. But it is a $10 million baseball flyer in a lot of ways. I mean, he has to be effective, but they spent $10 million on Max Kepler.
Yeah, it's similar, same kind of contract. Yeah,
and I think I mean, Max was an excellent left fielder, but I think offensively he'll bring more. And I think if he gets off to a really quick start, it'll buoy him for the rest of the first half of the season, and maybe even beyond. But no, he has not missed an arm day at all. His arms are massive. But, my hope is that, that he's got like that little tilt in his bat, that his timing is there, that that he's not aging out of like Eric Davis. I used to think when he had his hands down at his waist and used to waggle the bat a little bit, I was like, how does he keep doing that at his age? Sheffield was the same way. He's got a little of that, like it's a different bat tilt, and I think it's a good flyer. But I do think that it's something that they really need him to be effective.
We're here with T-Mac as we're live at Phillies spring training. What do you think about the division this year, Tom? It's interesting. The Phillies ran away last year, and they're basically the same team with some additions, right? That we've talked about a little bit, and yet you look at it, and they were the favorite to win the division. It shifted a little bit. The Mets and Phillies are close, but the Mets right now are the favorite to win the division. Phillies next, then the Braves. How do you size it up? And the Braves are coming off a year with all those injuries.
Right.
I feel like they're going to get back in the mix. Mets made a lot of changes to their team last year, and I don't know yet if they're better or not offensively. They're probably better starting pitching-wise. How do you view the NL East coming into the season?
My feeling is that the Phillies are still the best team in the division. I feel that way. And objectively, I do it because of the way the bullpen is with the Mets. I don't think their bullpen is very good. And I know that Devin Williams is a really good signing. He can close games and stuff like that. But beyond that, they don't have the same pieces that they've had in past years, I think. So that, to me, is a big question mark. Offensively, I think they're pretty good. I do. And I agree with you, their pitching is good. But I always feel like the Phillies can handle Freddie Peralta. Now, that may change because he may be a better pitcher than he even has been, and he's been very good. But he's their number one, and I do think that the Phillies can handle him if there's a short series that they have to worry about. The Braves, to me, are sort of an unknown because, you look at some of the injuries that they had last year, and you wonder, all right, so is Strider's fastball, will it sit 97? Will it sit 94, or will it be at 91? I don't know. That's a huge difference for him. I still think they have some injury questions. So I would have to say that it would go Phillies, Mets, Braves to me. But I do think it's somewhat of a toss-up between the Phillies and the Mets. I do think the Phillies on paper are a better team, just overall a better team.
I'm kind of curious because we were talking about pitching, and we have some really good pitching. But how much do you think we're going to miss Ranger in that rotation?
Oh, I think we're going to miss him. I think we're going to miss him for a number of reasons. I think – and listen, they could overcome it if Painter has a really good year. And I think he will. But I think they're going to miss Ranger for his personality, in the clubhouse, on the bench, everything about him. But I understand it. I mean, he hasn't pitched a full season in the last couple of years. Yeah. And it's a lot of money. So you've got to be careful of how you're spending it. But I do think they're going to miss him because he's a crafty left-hander. They have two left-handers, obviously, including Luzardo, who's going today. I just think the depth is one of the things that they'll miss.
Tom McCarthy with us here at the Midday Show. All right, T-Mac, what do you expect out of Bryce this year? The noise this offseason after Dombrowski's comments, not elite, wearing the shirt. He's at that pivot point of his career where it wouldn't shock me if it's more like last year for the rest of his career. That's happened to many players, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he's got one or two more
hell of a bounce back,
huge ones left in him. Right? We've seen that with players of Bryce's ilk. Before he left for the Team USA, what did you see and what do you expect out of Bryce?
Well, I saw that his swing was pretty crisp, I thought, before he left. And I talked to DeRosa on Wednesday night after their game against the Giants, and I said, give me your feeling, Mark, on Bryce and what you saw. He goes, I think his bat is whipping through the zone right now. And I do agree with that. And, I believe he'll have a bounce-back year. I've always said I never worry about Bryce Harper. I don't. There's a lot of other pieces that you worry about, but I never worry about him. I do think there's still a lot there. He's 33. Yeah. To me, he takes care of his body. If he's healthy, I think he's going to have a good year. I do think that he's driven to have a better year this year, no matter what has been said. I think he's driven to, because he takes a lot of pride in himself. So, I think that he's primed to have a better year than last year.
ABS system. Are you a fan? And how does it feel broadcasting it? Because, you're calling a pitch. You're like, wait, hold on. Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, I thought they needed it yesterday in the Canada game. I thought Dan Iasonia had a few missed calls, but
it does seem to move fast.
It does move fast. I think the problem is when you get into the rhythm of, I don't know, the fourth and fifth inning, like 5 or 6 in a row.
Because they want to use them?
Yeah, I guess. And you're like, okay, this is going to be long.
Yeah.
But I think it's quicker than if you look at college basketball and their replay system. I think it's quicker than that. I think it's quicker than a lot of others. It's way faster than I think people imagine. I think it's a lot like tennis. Like tennis is on the fly and pretty quick. I think it's good. I think it has not been as intrusive as I thought it would be.
What have you know? Is it more the batters calling? Because that's what I feel it's going to be used most for. But the pitcher and the catcher could do it too.
Yeah, I think it's been more of the catcher. The pitchers won't do it on the Phillies.
Yeah, we had Zach on, and he seemed a little reluctant. He's like, I'll let JT.
And JT
put it on JT.
Well, and JT said, "Yeah, I mean it's a lot to put on our plate."
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be JT calling it most of the time. I think the hitters will call it, but I think you'll see the catchers do it more often than anybody else. At least that's my thought.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where once you – I was against it. I've been against all this extra stuff.
But
Joe, I saw it.
I was against it. I was against replay.
Yeah.
I was against the pitch timer. And now I'm sitting there thinking, thank goodness they have.
Once you see it in action, you're like, all right, I get why they're doing it.
I just don't trust people, maybe. That's
what it is, trust issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust
like,
issues.
this isn't going to work,
Well, what's your feeling on what's about to go down with the labor issues a year from now?
I don't like the feeling. I really don't.
It feels like they're dug in.
It feels ominous.
Yeah, it's a good word.
It does. My hope is that with Tony no longer being the head of the Players Association, that maybe the new regime will be like, all right, I don't know if we want to do this,
right.
And they'll come to some kind of an agreement. I don't have a great feeling about it. I can't tell you how I felt years ago when the last long work stoppage was. I don't remember how I felt. I was a kid, basically. Right, 95?
94 into 95, yeah.
All right, maybe I wasn't a kid. No, I wasn't a kid. I was actually at the Thunder at the time. Well, I don't know. I know I liked it then because I was in minor league baseball and they played and we were sold out.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. People need to see baseball.
Yeah. But I do think it's going to be – I think it's going to be a little long-winded.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it feels like they're dug in, and it feels like
I just don't know if there's going to be a cap. I just don't know how they can do it after all these years.
all this time, man. It doesn't look like, and it feels like the owners are trying to take a hard line, and the players are like, come on, big guy.
I don't blame either side. I mean, they all have their reasons, but my feeling is you got to get other teams to start spending money.
Yes.
Not stopping teams from spending.
Yeah, we make it more about the Dodgers, but the issue is the Marlins, Pirates, those teams don't spend.
The Twins,
the gap keeps growing. That is obvious, but
no doubt.
Yeah, but that's it's everyone's fault more than just one particular team here. Speaking of the Dodgers, when you watched how it ended last year? There's two ways you could take away from it. One is they didn't get past the first round, right? Again, this is an excellent team, 96 wins, but they went out in 4 games for the second straight year. Or man, they were this close, right? That series was this close.
I still contend that those were the 2 best teams in baseball. The Blue Jays were hot, obviously, but I felt like that was the matchup of the 2 best teams in baseball. I actually thought Seattle was better than Toronto. I did, and I do think the series could have gone either way. I just think it was one of those things. It's baseball. That I think it's harder now to get to the World Series, even if you win the division, have the best record in baseball, because you have so many steps to get there. Yep. And, you can liken it to the NCAA tournament a little bit where a team can play their best day, play their best game on one day. I think it's if you step back, it's what makes baseball fun, because you
never know.
The Blue Jays are in the World Series.
Yeah.
Or,
it's a tournament.
Yeah, it's a tournament. But I also know that it would be – people from the outside would say, well, you work for the team. That's why you feel that way. I try to look at it objectively, and I still think that those were the 2 best teams in baseball. Maybe they weren't. Who knows? But I thought they were that close. I just think they got a hit. I mean, they got a hit in the postseason. It's just not – last 2 years they've just been – they've gone into these ruts, and they got to figure that out.
Well, Game 4, as much as we could talk about the missed call on Sanchez and Kerr, they got a hit. They need runs on the board.
It goes back to like 2009 against the Yankees. I mean, they should have won that World Series. I mean, Johnny Damon going first to third on that play. You got a lead in that. You got to hit.
The margin is so thin.
It's so thin.
Yeah, especially those big games.
And the Dodgers pitchers were really good. I mean, obviously Sanchez was so good that day. You got to hit. Got to hit.
All right, Tom, before we let you go, we got a couple shows. You need to break some ties. We need your help today.
Oh, good. What do we got?
All right, well.
What did I do?
Well, you did a lot.
You're nonsense.
What do you want to start with, The Rock?
What do you mean?
All right, so at this
point.
Did
you smell what The Rock was
cooking?
Well,
there we go.
What you're doing?
What do you get at this point?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let y'all
At this point,
frame.
you consider The Rock an actor or a wrestler?
Actor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's fully transitioned.
No, I'm just saying.
Well,
but
there is Hugh. There is a generation that will never look at him as an actor.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the generation that I come from.
Yeah, but
and
now
I will tell you, I do think about roles, and I'm like, he should be Jack Reacher. Like
no, he should be.
that's a good one.
He should be.
He should be.
He should be
like
Jack
if you,
Reacher.
you know.
If you read the books and you know how big
Exactly,
Jack Reacher is. Tom Cruise, they gave it to him because he could act, but he's not a Jack. He's not the Jack Reacher type.
Exactly. I remember watching the movie and I'm like, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Jack Reacher.
I read almost every one of Lee Child's
because
books.
he's like what 6'5" or something like that. Jack Reacher.
Yeah,
and he's a burly dude. Right. He's a big dude.
Right. But
that's not Tom Cruise.
I do think of him as an actor. I mean,
okay.
There's lines that we throw. I'm allergic to cinnamon. We throw lines out all the time about him.
All right. So the other thing we're doing is we're playing Hugh's Clues. That it's our game where Hugh throws out a clue about someone, one per hour, and people have to guess who he's talking about.
Hugh's Clues.
Right.
Hugh's
okay.
Clues.
So
Hugh's Clues.
Why don't you
I got to think like you.
Why don't you give T-Mac?
Exactly.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
Why don't you give T-Mac the first couple clues? See if he has any. No one has any clue what this guy's talking about.
This guy, he's done some acting, right? But you might not know him from his acting. You might know him from his other profession.
Oh, it's not The Rock.
It's not The Rock.
Okay.
Give him the second clue.
The second clue is he's an iconic individual. Iconic
Well,
individual.
you're leaving it wide open.
I know.
All right, that's fine. What was his what was his
since you're here,
profession?
you can ask the question. I give you.
I can't ask questions.
You can ask.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you this. I give you two of his professions. Where he played a little bit of baseball. Mm-hmm. And basketball.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it be Michael Jordan?
Ding, ding, ding! You won.
Yes, T-Mac, you got it.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you added the baseball and basketball thing.
Oh yeah,
no, because it's T-Mac.
Right,
no, because I'm sitting there thinking,
you nailed it, but he gave you extra clues.
Yeah. Like would I say? Who was that? The pitcher was it Ron Reed? No, was it? Who the guy that played for the Blue Jays that played for the Phillies. Anyway, he was a basketball player. Baseball player.
Yeah,
there's been a few, but Michael Jordan is the answer. Yes.
Yeah.
What were your other clues?
The other clues were one of the clues that was coming after that. He attended an Eagles game.
Thank you. See, that laugh said it all.
Wait a minute, hold on, T. I didn't get a chance to finish it. He attended an Eagles game last year.
One time he went to an Eagles game.
I got to tell you, you just said that. There was like 8 people that reeled off, and Michael Jordan wasn't one of them.
Hey, T. It's called Hugh's Clues.
I know. I got you. You have a big blue chair too, and something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. But it's Hugh's Clues.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah. It was like, that's what I was thinking about, and they get a kick out of it because they like it when
Well, then people call in, they're like, they have no idea.
And
that's good.
People are upset.
You got to make it hard. You
can't make it easy.
That's so great.
Yeah.
No, the laugh from T-Mac there.
No, it was funny.
We're cutting that audio and using it all the time.
I'm thinking Trout. I'm thinking who else is a Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, all those guys. But
he wasn't an athlete.
They have 68,000 every week.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that go to Eagles games.
Yeah, I mean, it's not supposed to be
exactly narrow the field.
It really doesn't narrow the field.
It does not. T-Mac, listen, we appreciate hopping in. Good seeing you. And we'll see you back.
When are you guys going home?
Tonight.
Today.
Yeah. We're going to hang out a little bit after the show and watch the game.
We're going to get a couple drinks and,
hit
the Strikeout Cafe.
Hey, listen, by the way, I don't know if they're a sponsor, but the other day when I was here, I got a Coors Banquet.
Yeah?
And I sat at the berm. I haven't had a Coors
They
Banquet
had you
in
on TV. Was that when they had you on TV?
Is that right?
When they put the picture
Oh,
of you
yeah.
out there.
I looked like Shrek walking down the hill. Anyway, that Coors Banquet was
good.
Yeah. So, when it's nice out.
Solid.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Yeah.
I drove to 3 liquor stores after that trying to find a 6-pack. They didn't have it.
That's how you know it was good.
Yeah.
There he is. T-Mac with us here on the Midday Show.